Okay, here is the first question from One Question, One Experiment. I had a question about breathiness, using breathiness, and how sometimes the voice just drops out. So let me give you 3 things that you could look for, and then some things to practice to help with this situation. So first, if you have too much airflow for the amount of vocal closure, then it does sound breathy, but the vocal folds aren't approximating as firmly, so that the sound might just drop out. If the airflow gets too high or the closure gets too loose, the vibration can just become unstable, and then the voice just stops. So there might be plenty of air, but not enough efficient resistance to keep the folds vibrating. The second thing is you're just running out of unstable pressure, not necessarily running out of air. So you can still have a lot of air left in the lungs, but maintaining the pressure flow of the relationship for that gets out of whack. So when that becomes difficult, again, the voice can stop. And you might start to compensate by squeezing somewhere else, and then again, the sound disappears. Now, what I would really watch out for, if it's fatigue, irritation, or some other kind of laryngeal issue, if the sustained breathiness, the phonation, if it's just inefficient, that's one thing. You can train it to get better. But if the voice repeatedly cuts out, especially if there's hoarseness or discomfort, loss of range, or any sort of change that persists outside of the exercise, I wouldn't assume that it is merely technique. That's when it's a good idea to get evaluated by a voice specialist, an ENT, or a laryngologist. Having said all of that, I would get my trusty straw and a glass of water, and I would start by easy sustained phonation, easy sustained speaking range pitch through a straw for a few seconds, blow gentle bubbles, then do a comfortable pitch like you're maybe saying something. When you get that, and again, bubbles should never be bubbling up and over, and they should just be nice and consistent, just a nice, even, low roll. Then, if you want to move on from there, if it feels good, then you do small pitch glides. You go up maybe a fifth, then down 1 5 1, 1 4 1 3. You could do anything in there, and if that feels good, then you might try larger sirens. All of this is still through the straw. Okay? Exploring more range, assuming everything remains easy and it doesn't hurt. Then, through the straw, I would sing the melody of the song, still in the bubbling water. Once you have gone through that a few times, the next thing I would do is remove the straw, and I love the fabulous me, ma, no exercise that I got from Maestro David Kyle in Seattle many, many moons ago when I studied with him. I love these exercises. It takes away the words. It helps with the breathing, knowing where you're breathing, where you're not breathing, where you maybe should be breathing. And it brings you to good vowels and really helps that forward placement. So you're going to sing the melody of your song. The first thing that you sing is me, M-I, or M-E-E, me. And when you take a breath to sing that next phrase, you would sing ma, M-A-H. And then when you would take a breath to sing the next phrase, you would sing no, N-O. And then you just repeat that every time you take a breath in the melody of the song. Okay? Just stay on those vowels. And very lastly, I would actually sing the normal phrase and see whether that coordination carries over into what you're doing. That's how I might practice sort of getting things back into regulation and see if that helps. That's the way I would practice getting that breathiness and that phonation at the same time.